I want first to ask the following question. Do we really understand the nature of county government? And before I go to my panelists here one by one, I'd like to ask Gilbert Sagia from Oracle, what made him think about sponsoring such a session as this to understand the county better? Gilbert.
Thank you so much, Dr. Njenga. As far as this event goes, the number of years that we've done it, we participated every year as a fraternity of ICT and with government, and all the other participants that have joined us over the years. It's a forum where we all come together to share experiences, challenges, cry as well over the challenges we've had over the years, and also laugh about it, reset our goals, and wait again until the next year, execute on what we've agreed on the action points, and come back and do another check. So it's quite an important event as far as public sector and private is concerned, private sector is concerned. As far as the topic that we have today, I'm very thankful to Gerald Gidinji for being here with us today, and he will answer more about the readiness of the counties. But on deconstructing, and it's a very interesting topic when you say deconstructing the county. If you think about it, if you have a house with a foundation, and the foundation, the house's building is done. If you want to do any major modification of that foundation, you basically have to bring the house down. It's very difficult to reconstruct that without having to do that to the foundation. That shows that basically about changing the way we've governed ourselves over the last 40 years. It's going to disrupt a lot about our belief systems, how we work together as central government, as counties or local councils before, structures of power, about policy. There's a lot of unknown and uncharted territories that we have to go and cross over. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And as far as ICT goes, we need to look at it in terms of about 3 major layers in terms of how that will help to, in this disruption or make it easier. Most of the time we look at only infrastructure. That's the easy part. So connectivity, stuff you can see. That's the easy part. The middle part of that, what we don't see, is the business processes that have to happen or change in the counties as well. So all those have to be disrupted as well. A major disruption will happen there, and most of the time that's where there's resistance. Even as far as the citizens go, there's resistance from the citizens as well in accessing maybe government in a new way. The third part is on service delivery. As far as service delivery goes, that's what the citizens will see. Those 3 major areas actually will have to be disrupted as far as counties go, or how we govern ourselves as a local area.
Thank you, Gilbert. So my first question, for the sake of this audience here, I probably will ask Bwana to discuss the matter with us. We have a county. It's a devolved system of government. We have a federal state. We have the county from England. Where do we fall in this? And please go a little bit deeper, because we want to understand, where does the central government come in? And secondly, how do you governors actually go down and discuss things with the MPs, the constituents themselves, the chief at the bottom level, and also the county commissioners, a problem we've been having? Over to you.
Thank you very much. When we talk about the county, we need to remember that we started out from one country. The country has a president, deputy president, cabinet secretaries. Similarly, for the county, we have the governor, deputy governor, and the executive. So we are having a replica of the government structure at county level. What is it that we are trying to achieve? We are trying to devolve government to the lowest level possible. So we come from that leadership team and get to the lower level, which is the sub-county. The sub-county is what was previously known as the constituency. And it has a sub-county administrator. So you get below that, there's a ward, and you have a ward administrator. So you have a group of people whose role is to get ideas right from the bottom wananchi and bring it all the way back to the governor. Then at the governor level, there's a governor council that takes that up to the president. So you have the structure that takes government all the way down and then back up. Let me, for those people who are not there last night, just describe Kiambu County for you. Kiambu County is a county next to Nairobi, so with a lot of opportunities because of being next to Nairobi. But also being next to Nairobi has a lot of challenges. You find young people having to go to Nairobi to look for work. If I think about my biggest challenge is trying to get employment or job creation for other people. So, how do we go about this? We look at our education system that creates people who look for employment. And we need to convert those people to stop, instead of looking for employment, to think of themselves as potential employers. And that's the mindset we need to create to get people thinking as entrepreneurs. And that's why I came to this system, to this meeting, and I've been getting a lot of ideas where we can create entrepreneurial activities.
Thank you very much. I'd like the other panelists to tell us something about this question. Shall we start with Glenn to discuss how is the county in England managed? How is it governed from the perspective of delivering services to the citizen?
Counties in England tend to be, well, first of all, they are very distinct from your counties in that they are very diverse, much more diverse than yours in terms of size. Some of them are very small, populations of 30,000. Some are as big as Birmingham with populations of 1 million plus. The challenge within the UK is that, in my view, what has emerged over time is the counties are too subservient to national government, that local political priorities cannot be reflected sufficiently in the activities that the counties do. So that is all to do with funding. So much of the funding for the counties comes in the form of grant directly from central government. So that means that local politicians who are maybe of a different political party than central government find it very difficult to shape or move away from national policy. We also suffer, I think, and again, I think you've got a huge plus on us here, there is no written constitution. So the rules are invented to suit whoever wishes to deal with it, and there is quite a lot of those rules end up in court, deciding who has the right say. Having said that, I think that what I would love to see in the UK is an approach like you're taking in Kenya, of creating a whole new approach to local government. That doesn't happen very often in any country, where you have the opportunity to create a whole new tier of government and at the same time create a whole new culture around being citizen focused, about using technology to deliver the best possible outcomes, about creating services that are centred around the public, whilst at the same time delivering, as our colleague said, those local political outcomes.
Thank you very much, Glenn. I'll now go to the man in the middle. I have not got your name, so you have to introduce yourself thoroughly. And let us hear your comments regarding this issue. How would you like the county government to be governed? And what do you know about the way it should be governed according to the Constitution?
My name is John Kamau from Jamii Telecom. From where I come from, probably my expertise is in IT and telecommunications. So I'll probably comment more based on that line. My understanding of the county is based on what the citizens are expecting. Today, there's a lot of very high expectation from the citizens. they expect better services from the government, and they expect to see a difference. However, I think from what I've seen from the few days that the governors have been in power, I think the citizen might be disappointed because probably all the counties are all trying to do things their way. And the way I see it is in 5 years, we'll probably go back to the drawing board and say, wait a minute, was this the right thing? Did we transfer a problem from the central government to the counties? So the first thing that we need to look at is what does the citizen expect and deal with that. Because if probably from Kiambu, if somebody wakes up and he has no water, he has no energy, they expect that the county government is supposed to deal with that even before they deal with the rest of the issues. We can preach to the county government about the e-systems, we can preach to them about all these advanced technologies, but the citizen down there needs those basic services. And the government or the governors in those places, they have to first deal with those issues even before they scale to these are the higher issues. The other issue is I see a lot of counties trying to do things by themselves, and I think that may not be possible. Take an issue of resources. Like Nairobi today gets its water from Murang'a, and you have almost half of the population that's working in Nairobi living in Kiambu. I don't see how you're going to govern all those counties separately. There has to be some form of collaboration. Probably not willing. We may be forced to sit down and say, for these counties which are together, there's some things that they have to be forced to do together. I mean, like you cannot have a county with different policies, yet the citizens who are living there are working in a different county. Something has to come in. Look at things like mass transportations. Today, I think, although that is vested in the national government, but the counties really have to start the initiative. Like, how do you attract the government to bring mass transit in your county? You must have probably decent housing. So there's a lot of related issues that today they are very disjointed, but I believe that we need to sit down and look at it, not at the county level, but probably from the citizen, because it's a citizen at the end of the day who requires the services. It's not just the prestige of the governor of this particular county. No, the citizens will ask you at the end of the 5 years, so what have we achieved with this county government? And I think there's a lot that needs to be done at this point.
Thank you very much. Now, we remember that the first thing that happened as soon as the power was given to the county government is the appointment of councillors, of the ministers of the governor. Then we had the salary problem issue. We haven't seen any delivery of services from the government, and yet we are talking about paying them more money. The question is, Macharia, do you think that the governors today understand how to develop the institutions that will serve the citizens, and whether they have started working towards it? I've not seen any governor meeting his MPs, for instance, or going down to the ward, but probably that's because of lack of information from the media. But what do you think?
An interesting question, and I think you put me on the spot there, but
I will ask the commentators to bring the microphone closer to them.
Yes, certainly. Okay. I believe, look, for you to achieve most governors, and I think most of them have a vision, that's why you got elected. Now, to achieve your vision, you certainly need a good team, right? But to have that team in place, there's some of those tasks the governors have to deliver are huge and audacious. So naturally, you need a good team around you. And the team has to be broken into multiple silos, which then work together. So you have people in healthcare, you have people in governance, you have operations. So in a typical governance situation, you have a CEO and a COO, and then you have a finance person. Then you need to go to the grassroots level for the councillors. Now, I think what most governors have tried to do is immediately appoint a management board that they can work with. Okay, the moment you have a good management board, the management board is then able to then go to the next level and work with the councillors. I think it's a delicate balance between running an effective county and also balancing the political position that you need to hold. So I would not like to be a governor because the challenges today are quite large, because you have to balance between trying to deliver the objective that you want, that citizens want, at the same time have a finite balance in terms of ensuring you get re-elected in 5 years. You're assuming that the citizens are going to elect you because you delivered good services. That's what we all assume. But you also seen at some point, citizens sometimes do not elect you because you provided good service. So the balance is, do I deliver very good service and still balance my political ambition, okay, and get liked? That is where the challenges of any governor today lies. And I think the deputy governor from Kiambu could try and give us some light how he's been trying to balance, it's a very, very delicate balance, how he's been trying to balance the political position, at the same time, balance ensuring he delivers services to the citizens.